Cordless power tools are fantastic. They're a joy to use. You can take them anywhere, no more extension cords, any of that stuff, but they have a big issue. And that is, once you buy that power tool, you are stuck in that platform. What do? Well, a lot of our viewers here, and we've done a survey we did last year, about 85% of my viewers are in at least 2, if not 3 battery platforms, which means you're buying batteries for this, batteries for that. What if there was one battery that could unite them all? Now, you may have seen this, a lot of people have been talking about it. Is it good? Is it bad? Well, we're going to show you the inside of this. We're going to take it apart, pop it open, and show you what batteries actually come in it, because that is the core of the battery. If they're not using good cells, who cares? Is the construction good? If not, who cares? I mean, it's great. You can take this thing and you can pop, if I can get it off here. It doesn't come off easily, which is actually a good thing, because you don't want it to just come flying off. You see, there's your battery. If I turn it the right side up, there's your battery. There's your adapter, okay? And there's a bunch of adapters. Here, let me show you. Here we've got the Ceener, I don't care. This is their PD Nation Lion battery, 18 volt, max 20 volt. I like how they put them both on there. That's kind of funny. I gotta say, the first impression when picking this thing up is that it's solid and well made. There's something about it that just feels like pretty good quality. Now, I have, as you can see here, this is dead because I drained it all the way down because I'm about to take it apart. But before we do that, I just want to show you this. USB-C, so I can not only power stuff out from USB-C, but I can put stuff in. I can power this from a USB-C charger. It'll take a while, but you could do it. There's also USB-A as well. That's going to be out only. Before I take it apart, let's talk about the battery, because what makes this unique, because you're like, that's a cool brick, but what do I do with it? Let's say at home you might have a DeWalt, a Craftsman, a Makita, and even a Milwaukee. And you're gonna have to have 4 different batteries. Or you get one of these and you throw an adapter on it. Actually goes from this side here. They are stiff to get on there, which is good because you don't want it jiggling around. So that's pretty good there. So now I have, I believe, a Milwaukee, or not Milwaukee, I think it's a Craftsman. Hold on. Nope, not a Craftsman. And I'm doing this like this for a reason. I want you to see some of the negatives. And that is, there's nothing on this that says, hey, I'm a Craftsman or a DeWalt or whatever, because one of these is DeWalt too. You'd think this is yellow, so that's going to be the DeWalt, but I don't think it is. I think this is the DeWalt. Or actually, this is the... Anyway, let's put this one on. We'll figure out what this one is. There we go. That's the Craftsman. This is definitely the Milwaukee. So let's see if this is the DeWalt. It's got the yellow on it. I'm making sure, I'm just double checking to make sure there's nothing on here. And I don't think they can write it on there. I think that's part of the problem. Now I have my DeWalt fan here because that's what I was just using it with. Nope, that's gotta be the Makita. Perfect fit. All right, so that's the DeWalt. Now here's the box like the Makita came in. And it shows me the yellow right there. I was hoping there was a sticker or something in the box. Let me take a look at some of the other ones. That is for Milwaukee. Nothing in the box. They need some way to mark these, or you have to take a Dremel or something. You can put a sticker on it, but a sticker's eventually going to come off. They need to have some way to mark these, so if you have multiples of these, you know which one's which. It's not a huge deal. It's not a deal breaker. It's just kind of an annoyance. But let's jump into the battery and see what's what. We're using the Vessel, my favorite electric screwdriver. Is it the most powerful out there? No, but for a lot of the stuff, electronic stuff like that, doing electrical work, that kind of thing. This is more than enough. All right, let's see here. Foam padding there. All right, here we can see the board on this. I have to say, it's a well-made board. You can see some conformal coating on it to kind of protect some of the circuits and stuff there. It's not the really super cheaped out, super obvious, like they did just the bare minimum like you see on a lot of the adapters. But it's also not the build quality of high-end battery like you'd see from Milwaukee or Bosch or Makita or any of the other big names. So you're kind of in between. I do feel like there was a lot of thought and a lot of engineering that went into this. But it is, again, at the end of the day, it's a universal, works with everyone kind of battery. And it's not going to have that kind of brain box kind of power to work directly with the computer that's in those machines. And it can't, because you would have to reverse engineer, and that's illegal. So anyway, so I did try to get into this thing, and I realized I did spend quite a while working on it. I did realize that the only way I'd be able to get into this is because I'd have to destroy the unit. The reason being, it feels like they used an adhesive to adhere the bottom plastic plate to the bottom of the motherboard or the board on the battery, as well as the fact that the weld points on the circuits actually go around the outside. So you'd actually have to break the circuit on that to get it. So I didn't want to do that because I do want to keep it for long-term testing, but I was able to get my little plastic pry bars in there to see enough what's going on. And you can kind of see that it is a beige battery, and I was able to confirm the manufacturer. We're going to talk about that here in just a second. All right, and we were able to determine that the batteries that were in this are the moly cell. Now, they say right here on their website, they actually say it, that they use brands such as Molicel, Panasonic, and Samsung. On top of that, they're using 21700s, not 18650s, which is kind of obvious if you look at the width of the box there. That's clearly going to be a 21700 cell, you would hope. All right, I mean, I guess they can pad it and stuff, but it's a well-made box. I like the interface. I like being able to plug. I can pop this on a DeWalt charger with a DeWalt adapter. I can pop it on a Craftsman charger with a Craftsman charger, or I can plug it in via USB-C and charge it that way. I can use it as a battery bank. If I go out and do stuff, I can charge my cell phone over it. A lot of great uses. So it comes down to two things. What's the cost, and does it really perform? Well, let's talk about the cost real quick. All right, the base battery alone costs $70 currently. Normally $80. It's on sale for $70. But wait, it gets better, okay? So then if you want to buy one of the kits where you're getting the, let me go over here. If you buy one of the kits, it actually comes for $80. You're paying $10 more. Well, it was I think it was $69, was that right? $69 for $10 more, you get the top on it. So now you're looking at $80 for a 4 amp hour battery. And I know you're like, hold up. That's way expensive. Even for a high-end battery, even for a Milwaukee or a DeWalt, $80 for a 4 amp battery is gonna make you, why am I doing this? All right, then we look at the adapters. This is where it kind of starts making sense, all right? So what I would recommend is, like, whatever your main one is, buy the kit, the battery and the adapter for that, and that's gonna get you the main one there for $80. Then you're gonna add an adapter in. Now these adapters, they come in for $22. Now for $22, that means that you now have, this is now usable on 2 different battery systems. So now you're at $102. But here's the reality. I can usually buy 2 batteries for that price. Well, on some platforms. When you start adding a third one or a fourth one, that's when the savings really start adding up, because you're kind of, you got to diversify to realize the savings in this. And I'm going to say this right from the start. This is not by any means a home run kind of solution, all right? But let me just show you what they do have as far as adapters. They've got Craftsman. They have several. I think they've got 3 different Works adapters because they've got several different platforms. Black & Decker, Bosch, DeWalt. They even have the DeWalt, the old school 18-volt DeWalt. They have Einhell, which we've talked about on the channel, Makita, Milwaukee, Porter Cable, Ryobi, and Works. Now, of course, there are several big ones missing in there, which it would be nice to see. And maybe if they are more successful, we'll see stuff like that. We'll see them come out for some of the other brands. But for right now, that's where we're at. Here's the question. Is it going to be usable for you? Would I buy it? Now, man, that's a hard one. The convenience factor is awesome in that I can just have a whole array of adapters and pop them on there and whatnot. But here's what it comes down to. What are you going to use it for? If you're going to use it on your core tools, that's the main thing. It's going to be impact wrenches, it's going to be drills, it's going to be impact drivers, it's going to be your circ saw. Not the best choice. And the reason is, and I hate to say it, is these adapters, they're just plastic with metal connectors. Not a ton of brains in this box, all right? So what you're getting, though, is a direct connection then to the batteries. What you're not getting is that smart interface between the battery and the tool. Today's higher end tools, the high end brushless stuff, has a discussion. There's a computer in the tool and talks to the battery, and they have their own language. And if your battery, your replacement battery, isn't speaking that language, you're not going to get max power on that. So if you're driving, huge lag bolts, if you're really maxing out that tool, this isn't going to cut it. But if you've got a whole bunch of what I call secondary, tertiary tools, like I showed you in there, the fan. I don't need a top-of-the-line battery to run a fan. I don't need a top-of-the-line battery to run my leaf blower. I don't need a top-of-the-line battery to run a right-angle drill. I'm not usually maxing out the power on those. Now, if it's a whole hog kind of thing, that's a different situation. But for a lot of those, I don't need that kind of power. And often there's especially if you want to get into Ryobi. Ryobi's got a ton of those really cool little tools where, you get it to do this and that. And there's they even had a garage door opener for a while. I don't know if they still have that. There's a lot of great options out there. Well, you can get one of these, get the Ryobi adapter, and then get the adapter for your main line so you could actually use them between both and you're not buying just a bunch of Ryobi batteries that just sit there. It's a thought. What I want to hear is I want to hear from you. Okay, I'm definitely not. What I'm going to say about this is I think it's got good cells in it. All 3 of those brands are solid brands, all right? I think it's fairly well made. I like that it has a look and feel that feels robust. The adapters are well made. The price is a little bit high, and it's one of these things that fits a niche. This is not an everyone kind of tool. This is, if you're in one of these slots, this works for you, but for everyone else, probably not. But let me know down below in the comments what you think about it. Do you think it's something you would use? Do you think it's something you wouldn't use? Or is there a use case scenario that you think I missed? Let me know. Anyway, while you're down there, don't forget to chomp the old like button, smash that subscribe, ring the bell on the way out. You all take care, God bless, and as always, shine on.